Well, even the debate, I've only watched a few, but my children were watching it with me. I feel like you watch that as a family, right? That should be a safe thing. You can watch these rallies, should be kid-friendly, and it's not like that anymore.
And professional. You're listening to the Calm,
The Storm,
The Whimsy
podcast. Thanks for joining us today. Today is November 5th, 2024, Election Day. And we thought that it would be a cool idea to do a reaction to some of the viral videos from both sides and respond to those videos. And so here we go. The first one is going to be from the Madison Square Garden Trump rally.
There's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico.
She is some sick that Hillary Clinton, huh? What a sick son of a... The whole party, a bunch of degenerates.
Can you imagine Kamala Harris performing a random, kind, generous act? She is the devil, whoever screamed that out. She is the Antichrist. Her and her pimp handlers will destroy our country. We need to slaughter this other people.
They're smart and they're vicious, and we have to defeat them. And when I say the enemy from within, the other side goes crazy. They are indeed the enemy from within.
What the actual heck?
La 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 la. What? Is this for real?
Right? Okay. Like, I don't even know where to begin. Trash in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
To slaughter them. Okay? So, like, we're talking about whatever happened to politics being vote for the best candidate.
Yeah, and this is why. Why do we
Like,
have to make it about just literally all it is attacking each other?
destroying. I never remember in the 80s and the 90s the destroying, the character destroying that takes place. I just remember, like, where's the policies? Where's the actual, like, what are you going to do for us? All these things, instead of just tearing each other apart.
And in the debates, why never answer the questions, guys?
Right.
Nobody ever answers the questions.
It's
Wow.
just all yuck.
It is yuck.
I do not.
That's my response. It's all yuck. I don't want to listen to that stuff.
Wow.
Well, and it carries over into all of us because people start fighting like that. All
Yes.
over social media.
Everywhere. These inflammatory conversations that take place at rallies, around everywhere, make people mad.
Yeah.
Inflammatory, upset.
Because both sides pick the worst things that come out of anything that happens.
Yeah.
And then they
Yes.
spew it out there. And then you're like, what the heck actually happened?
Right.
Yeah. And honestly, I'm going to say that, like, this video that we're talking about right now is, like, probably a montage of all of the worst things that were said and probably taken out of context, but still,
Why even say them?
why did
Yes.
those words even come out of your mouth?
Yeah.
Like, whether it was context or not.
Right.
Really?
Well, even the debate, I've only watched a few, but my children were watching it with me. I feel like you watch that as a family, right? That should be a safe thing. You can watch these rallies, should be safe things that we could watch as a family. When I was growing up, it was fine
Yeah.
to watch it because they were talking about policies and they were talking about what they wanted to do for the country and to make it better and where they stood on some things. And no, it wasn't things that we all agreed on, but it was kid friendly, and it's not like that anymore.
And professional.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, we're talking about somebody who's going to take the White House
Right.
in January for 4 years. And yeah,
Yeah.
I
It's
can't.
frustrating.
So the second video is a young gentleman who was just giving his opinion at a rally, and this was the Kamala Harris rally in Wisconsin, and here's the video.
So what happened? You were there in the middle of the crowd.
I told Kamala that abortion was the sacrament of Satan, and then we were getting heckled at. Grant got assaulted. Once was on camera, once was off camera. That's when we told Kamala that Jesus was Lord. We told her supporters that Christ was King, and she decided to respond with,
Oh, you guys are at the wrong rally.
There's a lot of people saying she wasn't talking to us, but when I did turn around in that moment and raise my cross in the air, I waved to her. In our video, she does a little head nod to acknowledge me, and she waves back to me. It's not like we called Kamala any slurs or names. It's not like we had any hate speech. We had a simple message, pretty much 3.
What in the world?
I thought you were going to say the same thing. What in the actual heck?
I was about to, and then I decided not to.
It's just all icky all the way around.
Yep.
I just don't even know what.
Yeah.
It's like, this is what, hey kids, be excited.
Right. Vote.
Right. Everyone should vote. Everyone should vote. Your vote. And then it's like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Also, the last thing I want to say, I don't know if you have other comments. Do you have other
I
comments?
have a question for you guys when it comes to this stuff, because I do believe that no matter what side you're on, you should stand up for what you believe in, right?
Absolutely.
Where is the line that we draw? Like, when do we decide, yes, we should be vocal about this, and no, it's not worth the fight? When is it just, because if we're always quiet, then we don't stand up for what we believe. That sometimes feels like a problem to me. But if you're picking a fight with people or making them feel less than, that's also a problem. So where do you draw the line of when do you share what you believe?
I guess if there was like a normal conversation with two people that cared about each other and they asked me a question, I would tell them my beliefs and where I stand.
Right.
But there's no point in trying to pound something into somebody's head that doesn't agree with you. We all have our own opinions. We all have our own things that we want to stand behind. And at the end of the day, if we can't get along, what's the point?
Yeah.
There's no point in fighting about it. They're going to vote for whoever they vote for. I'm going to vote for who I vote for. Would I sit down and have a conversation with somebody from the opposite party and ask them and listen and still walk away and love them? Absolutely.
Yes. And can we love them through it and not slaughter anybody?
Right.
Yeah.
Or be slaughtered.
Yeah.
Because that's what scares me the most, no matter what the outcome is. What's going to happen in the world? People are going to like lose their minds either way.
Yeah.
And we need to be united as a country.
Yeah.
Mic drop?
Yes.
Yeah, it blows my mind that this is what we have come to, that it's all fight.
Yeah.
All discouraging, all about tearing down the other person.
Mm-hmm.
Where is the building up? Even if you don't agree with, like, we are all human beings.
Mm-hmm.
And we all have the right to vote. And so I feel like we should be able to have that, like, peacefully. Civil. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And we should be able to vote for who we want to vote for.
That's
without
what voting is.
Without getting backlash from people. It's our own decision.
It used to be the thing where you didn't even talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no one knew who was going to vote for who or why, or no one endorsing this and endorsing somebody else. It was just, like, super quiet. You just went into the voting booth, did your voting, left, and found out the election results the night before, or the night of. Like, literally. And I just don't feel like that's what it is anymore. It's just one big fight.
Yeah.
So one thing that I leave, like, I was just talking to my mom, and I'm like, you know what? At the end of the day, God's in control. No matter who gets presidency, God's in control, and I have to trust that. So I'm just going to have to go with whatever happens, and I'll vote who I stand behind and the policies I'm behind, and just...
Yeah.
And feel comfortable with knowing that you feel like you've done the right thing.
Yep.
Yeah. And just let's all get along.
Let's love each other.
No politics talk.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us today. And I hope that you are all out there voting and that you have a great election day.
Thank you for listening to the Calm, the Storm, the Whimsy podcast. Follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Facebook, and Instagram. Stay tuned for our next episode.
Yeah, we probably
shouldn't say that.
Even though it was on national television.
Yeah, but...
And your kids were watching it. My kids were watching it.
But my kids didn't even catch that, like, yours.
Did they ask?
Yeah.
Oh, stop.
And then I answered.